Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Got an interesting story for this Toyota Rav4 which is behind me, so let's get into it. As always, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. So I took this 2013 Toyota Rav4 in as part exchange against a Suzuki SX4 that I had for sale. I didn't even test drive this car, I just took it at face value. So let's go around the car and let's see what we think of it. So starting with the front, so let's start with the front. So we've got Ashley's Toyota in Southport, so I've got main dealer front number plate, which is always a good thing. Starting with this front driver side wing, it looks all good. There's a bit of a gap there on the bumper, but we'll check the other side. There's a bit of a gap there as well on this front driver side headlight, but still has got the Toyota there. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, so it's still the original headlight. Going across, it's not too bad. You can see got a cable tie there, so this must have been come off loose at some point. You can see there panel gap isn't 100% correct, so it might have had a little nudge at the front at some point. We do have a few scuffs here on the front bumper, which goes in line with what we were seeing. Coming over to the front passenger side wing, we've got a bit of rust there, but doesn't look too bad. Needs one hell of a clean. And then what we've got some got some moss almost on there. Going across this side again, the doors, they don't look too bad. It's hard to say under all this dirt, but I think this is just dirt rather than any kind of rust or corrosion along this side. Coming over to the rear quarter, again doesn't look too bad, apart from, and obviously it's hard to say with all this dirt if there's been any paint work that's been done, any work that's been done on the body. On this corner, let's see, I'm not sure, there's a panel gap there. We're going to have to check the other side. Got some scuffs there. Coming to the back, we've got Ashley's Toyota Southport again, so two main dealer number plates, which is good sign to have. Again, I think that's how it should be in terms of the panel gap, so maybe the back's fine. Coming over to the rear driver's side, doesn't look too bad again. Got a few scratches there, nothing too serious. Got a bit of rust along here on it wheel arch, but nothing you wouldn't expect from a car of this age. Again, going across the two doors on the driver's side, it's not looking too bad. All that grime and stuff on the wing mirror. On the top here, the rubber's coming a bit loose, I think. On the sunroof, let's check the other side. Or is that how it's supposed to be? It's a bit raised here. Never had a Rav4 before in stock, so let me know, guys, if that's how it should be. Looks like there's been a repair at some point. Yeah, look, you can tell along here that's some kind of glue or adhesive. I do actually have a receipt for repair on the sunroof, so it must have been leaking at some point. It's been repaired, which is good, so we know there's no water leaking into the car. Just had a brand new MOT, so in terms of tyres, it's about 6mm tread. Brakes don't look too bad. Alloys will need a real good clean. What make of the tyre was that? Let's have a look. A Ventus Prime. Hankook. Oh, a Hankook. That's a good sign, isn't it? Decent tyre brand there. Another matching hand cook on this side. Same amount of tread, which is good. Brake discs look all good. Coming into the rear, we've got a third hand cook. It's almost a brand new tyre there, which is a good sign. And going over to the last tyre, do we have 4 matching hand cooks? Let's have a look at this one. And we don't. Unfortunately, this one's a Michelin. But again, that's pretty much a brand new tyre, so I'm happy with that. Brake discs don't look too bad, slightly worn, but we'll go through the MOT history and what MOT we have on the car. So let's jump in and have a look inside. Starting with the driver's side doors, so you got all around the electric windows, which is pretty good. Central locking. Coming over to the driver's seat. For the age of the car, pretty good. I'm happy with that. Not too bad. Check this out, guys. Look at the state of that car, man, and look how much gunk there is there. But check these. I don't know if you can see, it's like quite deep pile carpets, which is pretty impressive. So we've got electric side mirrors, cruise control potentially. And going over here, let's have a look. We've got a good old CD player, air conditioning, which will be interesting to see if it works. Cup holders. Look at the state of the car. All this grime. Hopefully the camera's picking up all this grime and stuff. Need a good clean. Let's go into the rear. Door card. It's got all this grime and stuff there. Nothing that a good valet wouldn't be able to sort out. We've got some marks on the seat there. Not too bad overall, really. You're surprised what a good valet can do to a car. Let's go on this side. Passenger side, rear. Again, apart from needing a good clean, quite happy with it actually. And going to lastly, driver's side door card, it's not too bad. Car mounts are filthy, it's all the paperwork for the car, which we'll go through. Upholstery on the front passenger seat, we've got a good water stain there, but nothing a wet back couldn't sort out. Customer was telling me actually that these seats, not only do they fold down, you can actually take them out of the car to then give you a massive boot space. So we've got a spare tyre, which should be ideally in this carrier here, but this spare tyre is so smooth. Look at that. That spare tyre is no good, is it? So we'll have to get that changed. It's a Pirelli as well, must have cost quite a bit when it was new. And then what's in here then? What's that? Oh, that's the jack and stuff. So we've got these side compartments. I guess would have held like first aid kits and stuff like that in the past, but nothing in there at the moment. So yeah, if you had these seats folded down, this boot space is actually pretty big. Be useful to have to chuck stuff around and lug stuff around that you need. So I'm pretty happy with this, guys. Let me know in the comments down below so far what you think of the car. See underneath the car, doesn't look too bad. 453 plate car. So let's jump in and see what paperwork we have for the car. Interestingly, when we did the deal on this car with my customer, she said to me that there was no service history on the car. So we'll go through that in a second. So in terms of ownership, we've got 4 previous owners on the vehicle. I've gone through the paperwork. So receipts there for the sunroof, which I mentioned earlier, repair on the sunroof and some tyres and that kind of stuff. We've got a receipt for a service in 2019, but the main thing in terms of this, which the customer was unaware of, we actually do have service history, which she didn't know about. So we've got, actually, wow, I didn't even see this page. So we've got, oh, this is really good. So you guys are seeing this firsthand with me. I didn't know. I noticed when I went through with the customer, I saw this page, but I didn't see this page. And we've got some Toyota stamps, which is good. So we've got 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Either Toyota specialist. You've got Mazda there, another Toyota main dealer there. So these are all of the Toyota specialists at Southport, which is good news. And they've got another one there at Toyota Southport at 11, 13 at Mazda, 16 at Mazda, 17 at Mazda, and then we've got 18 at a local garage. So the customer moved, she was down here in near Northampton in Corby. She met her husband, he's a vicar, interestingly. He lived in Scotland, so she moved up to Scotland, and that's where the Dumfriesshire stamp comes into play. So we've got one there from 18, and then I've got a receipt there for 19. So we've got a really good amount of history for the age of the vehicle. Obviously the last couple of years are missing, unfortunately. She said she did get a service every time she did the MOT, but obviously she wasn't even aware of the service history, and I don't think she even thought about getting the book stamped. So I'm happy with that. Lots of service history there. We've got a sunroof as well, which we'll test out if I'm brave enough in this wet and windy Wednesday afternoon. So let me just grab the keys. So before we start the car up, let's check underneath the bonnet and see what the engine's looking like. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. I tried to lift the bonnet up with one hand while holding the camera, and that was a big failure. So let's have a look at the engine. It's quite rusty there, isn't it? Apart from the rust and stuff which you would expect from a car of this age, and considering it's been up north as well in Scotland for a few years, cars in Scotland tend to be known to get rust and stuff like that. Apart from that, a bit of wiring shown there. Not sure if that's supposed to be like that, but apart from that, it's not too bad. Got a receipt for the battery as well, so it's a fairly new battery, which is good. But yeah, quietly happy with this one. So let's have a look at the cap. Looks fairly clean to me. Let's check the oil. Doesn't look too bad to me. Could be worth doing a service on this one for peace of mind, considering we don't have anything from 2019. What's that? Power steering fluid looks at the right level. Coolant's down there. Looks the right colour, which is good. And you've got a screen wash bottle over there. So far, I'm pretty happy with this one, guys. So let's go in and start her up. So let's see what she sounds like starting her up. So I've literally just moved the car in the car park when I took this in part exchange, and that was it. I've left it there for the last couple of days. So it started up first time, which is good. It's revving at, hopefully you guys can see it, at 1.5 rather than 1. So I'm not sure if that is expected behaviour with a Rav4. Never had a Rav4 before. Let me know, guys, in the comments below if that's expected behaviour. If not, is that an issue, and what could that issue be? So we've got electric side mirrors. Let's see if they work. Up, down, left, right. Fantastic, that one works. The left hand side. Fantastic, that works. Earlier I mentioned that I thought that this button here was the cruise control, but obviously it's not, is it? It's the brightness on the display, most likely. I'm gonna put the lights on. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's the brightness on the display. Cool. So I'm not sure if I should be brave on this wet Wednesday to see if this sunroof works, but let's try it out. So we've got slide open and tilt up. So let's tilt it up. Aye, that's tilted up, fantastic. And let's see if it slides open. Hey, look at that, a working sunroof, guys. Fantastic. And more importantly, let's see if it closes. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. It's panicking there for a minute. I thought I was gonna get a wet head, but no. Fantastic, that's closed, that's all good. So we've got lights are working, wipers, fantastic, rear ones, let's see if the rear one works. Yep, fantastic, rear one's working. See, yeah, that's all good. Radio 2, just about can hear that through the crackly radio reception. So it's looking promising, guys. So what else can we check? Let's check if the heater's working on heat setting. Let's put it towards me. Let's see if it's pumping out any heat. That is hot, guys. That is good news. Heaters are working. Let me see if this one works on this side. Yes, that is good. I see the idle's gone down now to 1. So maybe that's a Rav4 thing, I'm not sure. That's good, that's working on heat. And let's see if the aircon's working on cold. It's coming out cold. That is, I would say, that's a working aircon. Yeah. That's really cold now. Wow. So the customer, new part exchanges in, does look like they have maintained the car so far. 114,308 miles on the clock. Let's switch that all off. So I forgot to go through the latest MOT. So let's go through the latest MOT I've got here. So it did pass on the latest MOT, but there's quite a few advisories. So we've got front fog light not working. It's got some brake pipes corroded. Brake hose has slight corrosion of ferrule rear. A tyre. Oh, cracking on the perishing on the front. Both. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Because I need to check that actually, because the tread's fine. It may be that she hasn't been using it recently much, and when cars are sitting around and tyres not being used, they crack, so it could be that. Surface brake binding but not excessively with the rear, and bumper mountings corroded but not likely to be detached on the front, which we've kind of seen, haven't we? They're a bit, the front bumper's a bit misaligned and stuff like that. So that's not too bad in terms of a MOT, and that was done in 29th of the 1st of this year. So we've got pretty much a fresh 12 months MOT, which is good. Its handbrake's a bit loose, but what I think I'll do now, guys, is I'll set the camera up and we'll take it for a test drive. I haven't driven the car for any good amount of time yet, so we'll do that and then see what we think of it. So just going to head out for a quick test drive. Just before I pull off, actually it's worth noting now, the idle's well under 1 now. So it went from 1.5 to 1 to well under 1 now, which is interesting. Temperature gauge is at halfway, as you expect, and the customer just left us just under a quarter tank of fuel, which is a boosty bonus. So from first impressions, car is driving pretty well. You can hear, I'm not sure if that's picking up on the camera, but you can hear the brakes are grinding a bit. It might be that we need to get the rear discs done, pads and discs. Changing into gears fine. Gone into fifth now. No major rattles, anything. Nothing, no noise coming from the suspension or anything like that. Nothing from core springs, anything like that. It seems to be pretty smooth, really. Just driving in how's the tracking? Just driving in a straight line, which is good. Oh, right. When I was just braking, then the brake pedal was almost like pounding, kind of vibrating. So I'm guessing that is the binding that it was mentioned in the MOT, which interestingly the customer didn't mention to me. But I guess customers are not going to always mention anything and everything about the car. So they're looking to change it for something else. So let's just go through the story of this car and the whole major point of this video. So I had a Suzuki SX4 up for sale for $3,995. I had that up for sale for 4 months now, 3-4 months. I had a couple of people interested in it, and this customer who eventually bought the car, she actually come down to view a Vauxhall Viva, which I had in 2015, a Vauxhall Viva, which I do have. She had a look around that, and she said it was too small for her. She needed something a bit bigger, considering she's moving from this Rav4 to the Viva. Was a bit of a change in the size of the car. So I was speaking to her, yeah, when I'm braking there. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera. It's literally a thudding sound and a vibration coming from the brake pedal. So that definitely needs to be looked at. But as a trade goes, you always know when you're taking trade-ins, there's always going to be something that needs to be done. Anyway, let's get back to the story. So yeah, so she wasn't interested in a Vauxhall Viva because it was too small. So I said, okay, what are you looking for? And then she was listing off what she was looking for, essentially like a Rav4 but a smaller version. So the only thing I had in stock was the SX4. So I said, oh, would you be interested in the SX4? And I didn't have the keys with me for the SX4 or the paperwork. I only had the keys for the Vauxhall Viva because that's the one she come down to view. And then she goes, she's umming and ahhing about it. But it wasn't a car, or Suzuki wasn't a brand of car that or manufacturer of car I should say, that she was thinking about buying. So I said, oh, it drives really nice. While you're here, you made a journey down about 40 minutes or so from Corby to Northampton. You might as well just have a look around the car. And that SX4 was a really nice example. It had about 70,000 miles, so a lot less mileage than this one. And that was a 62 plate. This is a 53 plate. This one's got 4 previous owners. That one had 5. But it was a smaller engine and less road tax than this one. And had an advisory free MOT, which we did. So she goes, oh yeah, I might as well have a look while I'm here. So I went and grabbed the keys and the paperwork. She took off a test drive. She fell in love with the car. I was like, fantastic. So where I thought I was losing out on a sale on the Vauxhall Viva, I managed to get a sale on the SX4 instead. So out of curiosity, I just asked her what she was thinking about doing with her Rav4. And she goes, actually, she's Vicar's wife. And it's really interesting when she come down to view the SX4, we had a really good, interesting chat about religion and all that kind of stuff. She's not religious herself, but she's married to a vicar. It was quite an interesting conversation we had. Anyway, so I said, oh, what are you going to do with the Rav4? And I was like, oh, what do I do? Like, do I offer her something for the Rav4 or not? Like, maybe these kind of cars are not for the area that I live in. Like the SX4, I thought that would sell quite easily, quite quickly. A little 4x4, but that took a while to move on. So I thought, I'm not sure about the Rav4. Plus, from just looking at it from the outside, you could tell that it needed a bit of TLC. So I was like, caught in 2 minds what I should do. I thought, let me just ask her out of curiosity, what's she going to do with the RAV4? So I said, what are you going to do? You're going to keep the RAV4 or you're going to sell it? So she said her husband took it down to WeBuyAnyCar. I was like, okay, and I thought, let me see what they offer her. And then she goes, they initially quoted £400 for the RAV4. And I was like, wow, that seems like quite low. But we all know WeBuyAnyCar deals, even when you do the online quotations, always higher than what they actually offer you in person. So I think, just out of curiosity, because I think they were just going to want to get rid of the car. I think they at one point were thinking about scrapping it. But it's got 12 months MOT. It's going to do someone good for 12 months at least, as soon as you sort out the brakes. So she said, yeah, my husband took it down. Her husband took it down to their local WeBuyAnyCar, took it down in store, and they offered her. And I think this is one of the issues that they had, was like, if you watch all the other YouTubers and stuff, and any of you guys are looking to sell your cars or part exchange it in, when you take the car into the dealer, WeBuyAnyCar, wherever you're looking to sell it, at least spend £10, £20 to get even a basic valet would add some value to the car. And I think they literally took it in the state that you guys are seeing it today, which any dealer is going to get a bit put off by. So they took it in, and like I said earlier in the video, she didn't realise she had service history. And then, like, we've gone through it, she got up until 2019, it's a full service history. And a lot of it, most of it, majority of it, 3/4 of it, is the Toyota main dealer. So that's a good, strong selling point when you're looking to sell a car and when you're looking to part exchange it in. But I don't know if WeBuyAnyCar checked through the paperwork of the car or not. And I genuinely think that my customer thought I didn't have any service history with the car. So they must have told them there's no service history with the car. The car, what you see is what you get, kind of thing. So from WeBuyAnyCar, from offering them £400 for the car, in person when they saw the condition of the car, they offered them £200. And when she told me that, I was like, what, £200? You probably get more for scrap than £200 for the car, especially they've just spent some money on the MOT, plus she had to change one of the parts. I can't remember what part it was, but she spent another couple of £100 on changing one of the parts as well. So they've invested a bit of money into the car to then only get £200 back out of it. Didn't make any sense. So when she told me that, she goes, oh, but no, if you want it, I'd be happy for you to take it. She goes, oh, and I was like, to be honest, like, it's not a car that I would normally look to buy or have in stock because of the mileage, 114,000 miles, and the condition of the car. Obviously I didn't say that to her because I don't want to offend her, but I was thinking it's not something that I would normally retail. So she goes, no, like, I'd rather just sell it to you than sell it, because I said to her, look, you probably be better off selling it privately. I was honest with her. I said, look, you probably get more money if you sold it privately than selling it to me. But then she just was all apprehensive about the whole selling process, because, oh no, it's a bit of an older car, it's got higher mileage, I don't want to sell a car and then have someone come back to me a month, 2 months down the line, knocking on my door saying, this is wrong with the car, that's wrong with the car, you sold me a dodgy car, or whatever. So, which I can understand from her point of view. So she's like, no, it'd be easier if I just sell a car to you, so I'll come down in this car, in the RAV4, and then, because you put a deposit down initially, and then come and swap the cars over essentially, and just do the transfer of the funds. So I said, okay, let me have a look around at prices and stuff, and I'll get back to you. So I had a look at some scrappage websites, put the mileage in, put the reg in, and they were offering like 245, 275. I was like, okay, I thought it'd get a bit more than that. And I know she was being offered £400 from WeBuyAnyCar. She goes, no, she said to me, no, if you offer me around £600, I'll take it. But considering that I didn't really want the car, so what do? Do I take it and just trade it on, take it and retail it? It's a bit risky. I saw the MOT advisories and stuff. I was caught in a bit of a dilemma. So then at the end of it, I offered her £450. So more than what she got initially quoted from WeBuyAnyCar. And I thought, considering the age and the mileage, and it's not a car that I would normally would stock or have in stock, and the work that needs to be done in terms of the advisories, thought it was a fair offer. And I went back to her with that offer, and then she said, oh, let me sleep on it, and then next morning she'll let me know. And then the next morning she agreed to $450. So I bought this car for £450, guys. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Did I cut her too much? Was I too mean to her on the value of the car? Should I offer her more? But it's a car that I didn't really want, but to make her life a bit easier, I thought I'd take it off her hands. And now we know straight away mechanically there's some work that needs to be done. Suspension feels fine, driving a straight line, drives nice, it's just the brakes. So you need some brakes, probably brake pipes need to be done at the same time. So did I knock her down too much from the £600 odd to £450? I don't normally on my channel mention figures, because I don't think it's really right and fair to show the figure sometimes, because what if someone who I bought a car from sees that I've retailed it for like £1,500 more or whatever, or £1,000 more on the cars that I've taken in from them, and they will feel like I've kind of pulled the pounds down to a certain extent. But you have to take into consideration, just like that, if you've seen my previous videos, we've spent thousands of pounds on cars to get them retail ready, and you just don't know what you're going to put into a car until really you've driven it for a good couple of days. So yes, I got this for £450, guys. I feel like it's a sound investment. There we go. Hopefully you can hear that, the brakes thudding away. So what I thought of doing with this one, guys, is I don't think I'm going to retail it, and I think I'm going to keep it and put it on my trade insurance and tax the vehicle. But that's the thing on this one, the tax on this car is like £395, so £400 a year for tax on this one. It's a 2 litre petrol. So the plan is, what I'm thinking of doing it with this car, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think, is I'm going to keep it, add it to my trader's policy, and then tax it for the year, or tax it by direct debit, and have it as a runaround car. So I can leave it at places such as, and this is what I told my customer, I said to my customer, I don't think I'm going to retail this car. I'm not buying it off you to sell on. I'm going to buy it off you just to keep for myself, and literally just use it as a runaround car. So then I can leave it at my MOT station that I use, at my mechanics, or at the body shop that I use. So then I don't always need lifts and stuff. So I can take a car there for MOT and leave this one around near the MOT station, and then come back from the MOT station with this car. So then I'm not always asking for lifts for my wife and stuff, which I think kind of makes sense. So like, you got 12 months MOT on a car drives fine, just do the brakes and stuff, you got a decent car for at least the next 12 months. So I think financially and in terms of the business, it makes perfect sense. Or should I retail it? I could valet it, prep it fully, do all the advisories on the car. Because I was looking, and what the customer said to me actually after I offered her what I did offer her for the car, she did say to me she looked online and she was surprised at the value of these cars. And when I was looking on Auto Trader, I was surprised at the value of these cars as well, because these are on Auto Trader between what, 2,300, 2.5 grand for one of these. So £450 on the face of it looks really cheap, but then you have to think about the time and effort of getting it valeted, or doing the valeting myself, doing all the advisories. You're going to be spending quite a bit of money onto it, plus then it's putting a warranty on there, Auto Trader advertising costs, that what, £1,500 margin or £2 margin is easily going to get eaten into. So I think I might just keep this one, guys. Keep it as a running around car, use it for 12 months, and then obviously fix it, do the brakes and stuff, and then use it as a running around car, and then it'll get me from A to B. So I've just parked the car up after our little test drive. Car's idling nice and low now, which is good. Temperature's at halfway, is what you would expect. And let's have a sound or listen to the engine. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Sounds nice and quiet. Let's check out the exhaust. No unwanted fumes coming out of the exhaust. No. It's looking good, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Slightly a bit different to what I normally do, but thought you'd just like to see a slightly different video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. There's about 70% of you guys are watching the videos on this channel haven't subscribed, so it will just be a massive help to the channel. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month, and when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway. Make sure you like the video. Liking the video helps push the content out to other YouTube viewers who might be interested in this kind of content. Oh, can you hear a bit of rattling there? Oh, interesting. Well, I'll leave it there, guys. I think I'll drive this for a couple of days now and see how we get on with it. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.